Hello and welcome to the show. This is Do All the Things. On today's episode, I'm gonna fix this improvised TV mount I threw together. I'm gonna make it better. And I had some ideas and hopefully they're gonna work. Stay tuned. So if you've been following the comedy, you might be aware of the fact that I put together this gaming rig, and I've been gaming upstairs here in my living room where I'm just enjoying kicking back on the couch with a controller. Problem is, my TV here, it's an old rear projection. It sucks for gaming. So I kinda started using this one. This is another TV I have. It's an old Panasonic Plasma. Now Plasma is interesting because it means it has the benefits that CRTs have, you know, a really high refresh rate, no motion blur. It's got the contrasts and the blacks and the nits, and generally it was a very high-end TV for its time. Problem is, I need to be able to roll this about because I still like using this TV for watching TV. You know, the rear projection has that beauty filter, makes everything look cinematic, like it's actually being projected because, well, that's what it's doing. Now this right here is a pretty good TV, but I prefer to just tuck it away when I don't need it. So I put it on this rolly stand. This rolly stand came from Sears. It was one of their, their display racks. When Sears went out of business, they liquidated all their assets, and I got this thing for probably 20 bucks, and it's made out of some good American steel. It is not flimsy. I actually went looking online. What was it? Primecables.ca has some very cheap television carts that I thought, hey, that's interesting. Rated for 110 pounds? That seems like a good deal, but that whole monobar design does not instill confidence in me. Maybe for more modern TVs that are super lightweight, even though it says 110 pounds, it's like, is it really 110 pounds? Also, this thing has a generally wider bolt pattern. There was like only one that looked like it would fit this, and it's the one that I like the least, so I figured I'd stick with this thing. Now the base layout here isn't it's wide, but it's not totally deep. Like you almost feel like, it's pretty good, but I'd be concerned about being able to knock this thing over. So far it's been fine. This thing is rather top heavy. This television is 60 pounds. And that's 60 pounds without the base. The base is actually rather heavy, just to kind of be able to keep it from flipping over easy. This thing, it's a steel enclosure. It's a glass panel. This thing's a freaking serious piece of kit. Now, as you can see, it's already mounted, but the catch is these things that I'm using right here. If you kind of take a look, they're just conduit hangers. It's sitting on here. There's no support at the bottom. The bolts I had weren't even the right size. They're kind of too long, sticking out. This is what we would call in the engineering circles sketchy as frig. Even though it works, it doesn't instill confidence. And it does have another major flaw that's been bugging me, and that I can't adjust the height. I find this television is too high. When I'm sitting on the couch, I'm looking up at it, either with my neck or with my eyes. I think it might be giving me headaches, giving me kinks in the neck. We need to bring it down. TVs, they're set at certain heights for a reason, so it's in a more ergonomic looking direction when you're sitting on a couch. I guess we have kind of standards in the world. Couches are roughly this high. TVs are gonna roughly sit this high. If you get TV stands, they sit about this. I wanna bring this pupper down. I'm trying to figure out how to do that while repurposing this in particular stand. Well, I believe I came up with a solution. Now, the funny part is I kind of sketched this all out in my brain just from memory of what I know you could get at the hardware store. And what I remembered is we had these heavy-duty L brackets at the local tire store. And I figured I'd start with these, but it gets worse because I noticed it's got two sets of holes, the middle ones, which line up. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, that lines up perfectly. And then I have this is a 3/8 threaded rod that's gonna go through there. Gotta kind of rig this up first though. For the top part, I got lock washers, which are always fun to get on backwards. I kind of need it to go on backwards first. Sometimes if you start it forwards, oh, that's tight. And being a threaded rod, I haven't really got the ability to grip on it. Okay, there's some things I didn't think of here. Yeah, good luck getting that on backwards. I'm gonna need a vice grip to grip this thing. Hopefully I don't screw it up. Or I got a whole variety of hardware to try to make this happen. I figure if you spin on 2 normal bolts like that, torque them tight, start this one. I have something to torque against. There we go. Yeah, it's tight now. We've penetrated the threaded area. So you want to get this on backwards. Okay, so hopefully the idea is after getting this down a fair ways, we do fender washer, 1 bracket. Holes are a bit tight on these things because of the paint tolerances, but they do fit eventually. Another bracket, fender washer, and finally another lock washer. That should slot on there some way, somehow. It'd be nice if we could snug it up. Then it might be hard to like slip on and off. Getting this TV back on the stand once I've assembled this, that's gonna take strategy, but it almost seems like I could just lift it on and off. Well, no, that's gonna sit relatively tight to the television there, isn't it? I think if I bring it up a bit, give it a squeeze, there's a little bit of bend, and then tighten it. Okay, yeah, that'll wedge in there. Okay, I think that's the effect we're going for to make a hanger. The threaded rod. 2 of these, hell, I think one of these could almost handle 60 pounds of downward force. So I think we won't have much of a problem getting it to support 30. That's the specifications in the manual, by the way, 30 pounds. But before we go any further, we kind of need to generally dismount this thing. We gotta get the mount back on it. This thing kinda jams up into some holes here. Get some screws into place. Just 2 screws good enough. Good thing about these guys is they offer me some tiltification. So it's like there's this whole process where I gotta kinda freaking let it down like that. Okay, yeah, that's fun times. Thing is, this thing's relatively center right now. I feel like we could do some measurements for good measure. 8 inches, yeah? 8 inches. We want to kind of get those brackets on right off the hop in such a way that they're going to line up. I got this rando wax marker here. So if that's center, we're going to drop it on the floor, which is also going to mark the floor. Trying to get roughly, there we go. We've established where our brackets are going to go and got a wax mark on the floor. Wow, that's not happy. Probably because it's putting force on it. Holy frick, how heavy did you go in there, bud? LTTstore.com? No, not quite. Ugh. Good thing I had that cover there. Okay. This thing in and of itself is pretty light. Like, it's kind of great that it has as much strength as it does. Now, I did not bring an example screw with me when I was at the hardware store. I do believe it said that these are, well, they're metric. I can't remember off the top of my head what it said they were. I got some here. M8 by 125. Oh, should be the correct thread to go in. Oh boy, they're not long enough. We're gonna get rarely any bite and excursion. Frick sakes, bud, frick sakes. I knew I should have gotten the longer ones. Looks like I'm running back out to the tire stores. Guess how long these long boys go in. Could possibly use one of these if I do a lot of the fender washers. But no, we need something like this, maybe a 1/4 inch shorter. Can I return this even though I just opened it? I guess I'll find out. All right, so while you weren't paying attention, oh, maybe I made this one a bit tight. I went ahead and banged together another one of these assemblies. Slip this one down a bit. Yeah, good old nuts and bolts. Can't really beat them, eh, bud? So yeah, now I got 2 support hangers here that I should be able to, should hold the weight of this TV, no problem. The biggest problem here is how to get it back on. That's cool. This thing kind of slips underneath the table enough I might be able to, yeah. Okay. This was something I was going to regard as being the hardest part of the strategy, right? Getting the TV back on this thing. But we can kind of shuffle it to the end of the table. It doesn't instill confidence, does it? And then we got more of these hangers. And their perspective, like, is going to be like this, but down here. So as you see, it's going to line right up. Actually, we could probably put it in the inner if we wanted to. No, that wouldn't angle right. It wouldn't, like it would be angling inwards awkwardly. I don't know though, maybe. Well, the idea was it was going to go in the outer hole anyway. That means we got to get this through here. Oh, nice. Okay. We need this to be able to move freely for my plan to work. Looks like it's got to wear in a bit. Well, at least it kind of stays in place for us. Now at the hardware store, I got some of the more correct bolts. Also got a bunch of washers because it kind of looks like this is, going to be recessed a bit. Probably going to need at least one washer of spacing. One should do. Question is now, yeah, just like that. Except we're getting ahead of ourselves because I got to put hardware on this thing. Yay, doing things in the wrong order. Unless maybe I didn't need these little nuts. Hey, come on now. Well, these generally fit in that hole. Not really. Okay, get this back off. Nice noises. Okay, so I want to leave one of these nuts on here. I want to back off the other. This is gonna be fun. Spinning this all the way down. I'm bored. It's getting stuck on some tight spots here. Probably where that bracket marred the threads a bit. It's jamming up enough that I actually need to get a wrench involved. In retrospect, maybe I should just left that bolt on there so that I'd have like some points by which if I had to torque these bolts back on, but I didn't buy enough bolts. I guess I might as well go downstairs, see if I have more. Okay, note to frickin' self, back the bolt off before you try to jam the damn bracket on. Yeah, this one coming off smooth. Hey, better these ones than the friggin' lock nuts. Imagine I spun the lock nut all the way in there. Oh boy. Okay, let's get back to where we are. So, I want one nut, fender washer, because these holes are a bit gaping. Now let's force this damn thing on. Then I'm going with one small washer, big washer, two big washers actually. I got a lot of these things, so get in there. Small washer, that should space everything up as needed. I don't know that I brought the right size wrench. Oh, yeah. Aha! Now we have a hard mount. Just want to do that all over again on the other side. Oh, this one goes smooth. That's good. Maybe I should have tried a few of these. I have 8 of them in total. Try to figure out which ones are going to be smoother. Spoke too soon and jammed up now. Come on, bud, get in there. Oh, I got it. I put it through the wrong hole. Same with this one. It's supposed to be on the outer hole. Okay. This doesn't feel good. Okay, finally. What's next? I'll tell you what's next. Another fender washer and a wing nut, which because of the shaft marring is gonna take forever to get up to, That's freaking art, bud. All right, got a little stool. I'm gonna be here a while. Oh, this one's going nice. Pop these little covers out before I forget. Oh my God, this is torture. Man, I'm glad I only have to do this once. December 2007, this thing says on the back. Wow, eh? All right, after what feels like 1,000 years, I've got these guys up here, which means I should start to just be able to lift the television. Probably off its base. We should break the base loose. Also, it might try to leverage. Like I imagine it's gonna try to go meh. Part of the plan here is I got 2 more of these brackets. They're gonna be just as tight, eh? Not on this one. This one's good. But we're gonna put another nut up in here, which is a terrifying concept because it means we have to force a nut up this frickin' damaged rod again. Oh wait, are your tolerances looser? Oh, buddy, thank you. And yet another fender washer. Question is this gonna make lifting problematic? Is it gonna jam on the way up? I guess we gonna find out. Let's see. I'm gonna start raising up the TV. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a little bindy down here, eh? Is that weird? It's not lifting off the base yet? Oh, it will. It will. Damn. This was a pack of 20 fender washers. I think I used them all up. I need 2 more, and I have 2 more left. So I just have manual nuts for the bottom mounts because I planned on fine-tuning the height with the top mounts, but I might have to go adjust all 4 of them. There we have it. I guess I can jack up the bottom a little bit. Getting this thing adjusted into place, I feel, is gonna take not an insignificant amount of time, but it was more the investment I was prepared for. And this stupid thing's gonna send shocks into the system. I hope these TVs aren't particularly fragile. I almost wish I had made it so that I could put torque up into here and then just like, This bass is sticking in here. Bass, what are you doing? You get out. Ugh. I almost wish I could just jack up the TV from the bottom and then spin these. Can I kinda grab on this yet? Yeah. Oh, my hangers. Come on now. Popped out the hangers. Need the hangers to stay in place. What are the chances a cardboard box can support this weight? I'm losing my hangers though. Yeah, it's asking too much. You know, these holes, if I get another set of bolts, I could clamp these onto place. That would work quite nicely. I might have 1/4-20 hardware. Actually, I know for a fact that I have a whack of 1/4-20 hardware. Come on, it's a bit long. Wish it was just a touch shorter. Get in there. I can put clamping force into this. At the very least, it can't completely slip off. So now what happens when I try to lift the TV? Well, it jams up over here because that's what that side does, but this might help things along. Try to unjam, pick it up on this side. Whew. Almost want to lubricate this shaft. Spray it down with grease. Come on, unjam yourself. Hey! Oh, I see part of the problem. This clamp slipped, it's off center, it's causing that shaft to bend. Oh, that, and I bottomed out this guy. This is the most this TV's been jostled around in a while. I hope there's like I think it should be some pretty solid technology. It's high enough now that it should be free from the base. And I should now be able to move it around. Hey, you know what? That feels nice. It's not as waggly jiggly as I was expecting it to be just hanging off these things. And it feels a lot more stable because the center of balance is way lower. Also, there's leverage here, right? So the weight is being kind of pulled towards the back, torsioned here. So that kind of causes it to counterbalance. It's just a case now of figuring out what height I want to finalize it to. Okay, I figure it definitely needs to go higher than what it is. I think the easiest way to do this is to flip it around and compare it to the height of the other television. See, I did a little couch sit, definitely wanted up more than this. So I think once I get it about the same height as this TV, we'll be good. And now I should be able to just put a foot down and give it a lift. Maybe not. I hate that. All right, I feel like we pretty much got it the same height here. It's just gonna need some leveling. So I'm gonna confirm that this is even level. Yeah, pretty freaking good, bud. It's funny, it doesn't look level. Okay, I think that's pretty good like that. Motion-wise, it needs to go this way. So we'll release our clamps. Unfortunately, they'll slide reasonably well. Yeah, that's center now. Now we can kind of fine tune its pitch, right? Because it's like kind of trying to point down a bit. Well, hold on. Let me flip it around and take a look to see if I like the height. Yeah, bud, that's way better. So part of the idea here is we get these bolts down, we get a wrench. Now the holes are elongated, so if I push it inwards and then lock it into place, same thing here. This one's more of a pain in the ass, but push it inwards, lock it into place. Then just square away these bottom bolts, right? Point here is that we actually have the 4 points of mounting. All right, so the other thing is there's a bit of right here. I have a solution for that too. While I was at the hardware store, I picked up one of these plumbing tube dealies. 37 inches. That's frickin' oddball. What's half of 37? That's a number I can't compute off the top of my head. 18.5. They don't seem to put the adhesive on these anymore. They come pre-broken though. There we go. Nice rubber bumper. There we go, rubber bumpers on both sides now. Cinematography's getting pretty poor, eh? I'm not used to filming in this room. The lighting's all over the place. But now I guess I'm just gonna snug these up until it looks like it's taking some of the tension off the top. Now we could try to push them out to the end. That isn't gonna make a lick of difference. This doesn't have enough tension to push this TV forward. Yeah, these are looking flatter now. Right about there, I think. Just gonna lock it into place. There. She's all squared away now, bud. There's a bit of a bow on here, which is kind of telling me I put this one on too tight. It's fine. Finally. This is a problem that I've been thinking about for a while. And I kept running scenarios through my head on exactly how to sort it out. This seems to be the more elegant of solutions. Just clamp on hangers, boom. If I want to change the height, I can. Just got to kind of test it out. Then I got to clean up all this tooling everywhere. Oh, yeah. Oh, that looks much better already. No more. I almost feel like I might want it a bit lower. Maybe I went too high because it is closer to me. Well, I can always adjust it. You know, I can fine tune it as I go. Oh, yeah. Hey, put that away. We're not shooting anyone here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I might lower it. I might lower it a bit. Why am I getting NA FPS? You're a dick. Do you think you're going? Yeah, well, doing fine. Just in time for dinner time, and I think we're done here. If you like this, stay tuned. Sometimes I come up with creative solutions like this on occasion. It's not super common, but it does happen. All in all, I think this was about $70, $80 in hardware. Well, that's the time we live in, right? I almost could have bought one of those cheap stands from Prime Cables, but I ultimately think this is more ideal, other than, you know, it's not exactly easy to aim it up and down, but yeah. Stay tuned to find out what I do next.